Hello, beautifuls. Welcome to Intuitive Conversations with Christine Keeland and Renee Kane. I'm Christine.
I'm Renee. As best friends and intuitives, we have fantastic conversations in all things spiritual. We have been inspired to share these conversations with you. Hello, Christine.
Hello, Renee.
Fun to be together again today.
As always, welcome back to Intuitive Conversations with my bestie.
Yes, welcome everyone. We are going to have a fun conversation today. We've been looking at the reality of more. There's always more. No matter how magnificent your day is, no matter how beautiful your day is, there's always more beauty, more magnificent, more love, more joy to have and to hold. So we're going to talk a little bit about what some of those things might look like. I was contemplating a picture this morning, and I saw it in one light, and all of a sudden it popped in a completely different way, which is there's always more. There's a flat reality that you see, and if you contemplate deeper, there's more. What do you think, my dear?
I like that. I'm really leaning into that and let myself not just understand the concept, but be the concept and to expand the concept. And one of my favorite sayings, it's actually really a prayer, is thank you more, please. There's something that I want to experience more of. It's thank you more, please. I teach my clients that. I teach my grandkids that. And it actually is a declaration to yourself and to the universe and to the all. Yes, I understand this. I desire more of this. I accept more of that. And the accepting part's a big piece too.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's a very good, I'm going to agree with you. It is a very good prayer.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a beautiful sunny day and you're out for your walk. Yeah. Instead of just being in that moment to say, thank you, more please. Whatever that sunny day looks like to you, whatever that sky looks like to you, that makes you feel more please.
And it's the more please, let me embrace more of this wonderful existence. Let me embrace more. Let me accept more. And, you and I talk about bandwidth and frequency and vibration and conscious all the time. And this reminds me of a young woman I worked with years ago, and she was contemplating having a child. And she was really timid about having a family, not because of like pain of childbirth, but she said, I like the way my marriage is now. And I'm so afraid that if I do something different, if I adjust it in any way, it won't be what I'm experiencing right now. And so what she had heard from other people is, blah, blah, blah. Kids become the focus, etc. I don't have to expand on that. And what I told her, I said, but can you imagine when you first met, if you loved your husband the same way you did maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and if he loved you in the exact same way, would that have been the best? And she said, no. She said, it's been so much better since we first fell in love. I said, imagine the possibility of what the more of your love can create. And after she had the baby, she was like, oh my gosh, you are so right. Because that's exactly what happened. Now that's just, an example, and not everybody has children to compare it to, but it is something that's really good. That is your best moment. Go into the unknown and then limitlessness of what that could possibly be for you because you've already created it.
Wonderful.
Outside of time, it's already created. Just let it be the now.
Yeah. And that's really cool because that's where my brain was going too. Yeah. It was like with the birth of your child, at least that's my experience. And like you said, not everyone has that experience, but you can have the birth of a new creation, a new job or a new whatever. Yeah. So in the birth of something new, it's like, oh, wow, can it get any better than this?
Yeah.
More, please. And I'm not talking about creating more children or more jobs or business opportunities or whatever. It can be that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like, okay, so then I'm going to use the child because that's the most familiar with me. All of a sudden, your child's, graduating from high school. And there's another whole kind of joy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more, please. And then potentially it's a college or another kind of degree or something that they're going. It's like every avenue of their growth is more.
Yeah.
And you can choose to be in the, wow, this is awesome. More, please. Oftentimes, as humans, we'll go like, oh man, where'd those years go? And we'll fall back on a limiting piece for ourselves. Instead of looking at the more, please.
Yeah.
Now maybe your child brings in a significant other.
Mm-hmm.
That's more.
Yeah.
That's more. It's a new piece for you to embrace and love.
And recognize where the limitations may be. And the limitation may be, I know this, I've experienced this before, and maybe it went sideways in my more, please.
Mm-hmm.
And when it goes sideways, because there's a little bit of being timid, a little bit of fear, a little bit of what would the unknown bring to me.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're really in that heart space, and you just say, yes, bring it to me.
Bring it on, baby. Bring it on. Mm-hmm.
It really does become your best experience. Yeah.
It is your best experience, or it can be your best experience. That whole idea, concept, potential of more expands our freedom. It opens our eyes. It ends, and I want to say it opens our eyes in a way that perhaps we've never opened them before.
Yes, and I'm again being in the more as we're talking. So when I'm in the more, I slow down my thoughts and my speech. And if you've listened before, I have a tendency to speak very fast. And the reason we're talking about this today is because you have to please go back and listen to the podcast before this. Because Renee and I were talking about during that, before we could start that podcast, we were getting massive influx of information and energetic download. And we had to take a pause before we could start. And that was creating more. That was creating a bigger, more expanded vibration and frequency, a consciousness, more light that our body could hold. It was just more and more and more. And so that's what Les is talking about. There's always more.
Always.
There's always more to experience on whatever side of the coin you choose to be in. If I want to experience, well, what is suffering? I'll just keep, stubbing my toe. Perhaps I just keep having the same relationship issues or the same job issues or the same backache. I can also decide I want to experience something new. What is the more of a pain-free body? What is the more of a joyful relationship? So it's just keep expanding your understanding of what life can be. As you reveal more of yourself, which comes through, because really the part that you're hiding is really not yourself. As we go through, a belief system or a life experience that isn't really our best, but we believe it's us. I believe this belief system about me. I believe I'm not worthy.
I believe this is me.
I believe, I'm the shortest person in the room, and then you go to another room like, well, there's three people taught me. That's how quickly things can change, right? But when you believe something and you experience something so deeply, you think that's the only thing you can experience, we become stuck. And that's a limitation. And we're talking about how do we go beyond the limitation, because there is always more. And some of us want to have our bandwidth increased exponentially and not just a little bit at a time. And as you reveal more, and I'm going to change the words a little bit, as I uncover more of what is not my authentic, natural nature, what is not my truest identity. And as I reveal more, that's when my spirit rejoices.
Soars.
That's when my spirit soars, just like you were saying. And that's when you can experience more. we can hold more of a higher vibration, and a more expanded.
Mm-hmm.
I think you and I both prefer the word high expanded, maybe not higher,
Mm-hmm.
because that's a hierarchical thing.
Yep.
But more expanded vibration. And expanded vibration to me is, let's bring in more love. And what comes when you bring in more love? Love of self, love of beauty,
Love of all.
love of all. And then you start to experience more of that because you really are open with two hands.
Yes. And I think sometimes, I'm going to look at this in a more simplistic way.
Yes.
I'm going to say,
that's always helpful.
well, it could be. But it's like you're laying on your back on the grass,
Yeah.
and you're watching the clouds. So you can see those clouds just as the puffy white clouds that are floating along in the sky. You can see more revealed to you, as in, oh, there's a dragon. There's a fish. Oh, what are you going to show me now? And it doesn't even necessarily have to be clouds. It could be a rainbow. It could be an eagle. It's using new eyes to see all that is about you and what it is showing you, or what it's uncovering, or what is being revealed.
Yeah.
Because if you see a dragon, for example, in the clouds, you have the opportunity then to say, well, what does dragon mean to me? What kind of energy comes with dragon? Is that the powerful, fire-breathing, that kind of a monster, fierce energy? Or what do I see with the dragon? Do I see the little playful dragon that wants to, throw a ball at me with its tail? Or what do I do? So it opens up your awareness or your understanding of what is being revealed. And at different times, it's a very simple piece.
Mm-hmm.
At different times, you're going to see different things. Sometimes you're just going to see the puffy white clouds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sometimes there is the potential for a message or something in the clouds to be revealed to you. And that's just one simple way. It can be in the pattern of something. Mm-hmm. You're looking at this wallpaper pattern or the pattern of this picture, and what jumps out at you? A star, a heart. You always see hearts.
I do see hearts a lot.
So, it's wings.
Wings. Mm-hmm.
It's about looking for the more, whatever it is. And it can be on your dinner plate. It doesn't matter. There's always more for you to perceive, more for you to get.
So it just occurs to me, are we talking, is this the same thing as abundance? Or is this a little bit different?
It's deeper than abundance.
That's
I think
my
it's
perception.
more than abundance.
Deeper. I mean, it can come through people. It can come through, but it is a dimensional difference.
Yes,
I believe it's a dimensional difference than abundance. This is. I'm getting the word revelation of self, and not revelation. I guess I'd have to go to the Bible. I'd have to go to dictionary to see what revelation means, because normally it means a biblical term to me. But it's a revealing of self, the more of the self. And as we know, we're energetic bodies. We're these beautiful spirits, and we can, and inside this beautiful spirit is this physical body.
Yes.
But it's it's a drop in the bucket of what the spirit is. So the more this is the image I'm getting, is it could be the phoenix rising from the dirt, but it's more than that. It's this beautiful angelic form that grows from, like a teeny tiny, my human form, maybe, and then it just expands to 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 feet. And I keep expanding. It could be wings, but it's really my energy field. And in my energy field is the consciousness of me as a being, the consciousness of my all, the wisdom of all I experience, the wisdom of the ages and the wind and the sun and the moon and every life experience and every, the rhythm of it's really the rhythm of the universe, the music of the universe is then allowed into not allowed in my field, it's allowed, accepted, it becomes part of my field. So
of which you are aware.
Of which you're aware. So it's like learning a second language. You speak light language, I speak light language. So if I know English, right, when you're a little kid, blah, 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 blah. Then I learn English, but if I then embrace another language, French or something, it opens up a new world for me.
Yes. Yes. Perfect.
Yeah.
it's I really like the visual of your expanded self or my expanded self, and how, again, I'm going to go back to there's always more.
Yeah.
With each passing experience that we have the opportunity to see the more in our field, to see the more expanded self, the more unique self, the more glorious self. It goes beyond words.
Mm-hmm.
And as each of us gives ourselves the opportunity, the permission, if you will, to allow that expansion, the more expansion there is. No limits.
And part of that understanding the no limits is when to say no thank you.
Mm-hmm.
No thank you. I've had enough of this experience, this vibration, this frequency, this way of being. Thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate it. I'm grateful for it. Now I'm ready for the next part of my evolution. The next part. What else can I bring into me? And it's bringing into from yourself, your higher self, the all. What would I like to experience now? Well, I'm looking at a couple of different concepts here. Bringing together. So they just like bringing together two hearts. Remember that old
yes.
Certs commercial?
That's where I was going.
Maybe it was old of a certain age.
Yeah.
Remembers that Certs commercial? They get the mints together. Yeah. So you're bringing two things together. Two creates more. Mm-hmm. Two loving thoughts creates a more loving environment. Two hateful thoughts creates a more hateful environment. Exactly. So it is being aware of what you expand into. What is your more?
And what's really cool about that is the more for each of us, while it can be similar, it's our own more. Yeah. So your plan or your path or your journey for this life experience right now may very well be to experience more love, joy, whatever. It also may be I need to learn compassion. Mm-hmm. So I need to experience or be in situations or have more of experiences which will show me my compassionate side.
Yes.
Maybe to show me, why am I suffering? Why do I need to always look at everything through suffering eyes? It may be part of your journey. So until you get to the point where you can say what you just said a few minutes ago, thank you. I understand this now. I can move into my next more.
And don't you think that's where we're at right now as a human species? Yes. We're really becoming more aware. We're becoming more aware, period.
Yes.
And then after that, what are my choices? And then what's the understanding of what I create more of, I receive more of. Mm-hmm. So if I'm in division or righteousness or confusion or blame or generosity, I mean, we could both add a lot of words here.
All kinds of words fit, yes.
Right? So it's the awareness of really what frequency you're running at. And I don't have it in front of me. You may remember it, but people can go look it up. You know, the emotional chart. Oh, it looks like a triangle, and hate's at the bottom, love's at the top, and then, you know, anxiety and everything's in between there. So you can also look at yourself. Where am I running today? I'm running a little anxious. I'm running a little fearful. I'm running a little, I'm so excited to the next thing.
And it can fluctuate
multiple
day long. Yeah. You know, it can move through. And I think it will do that as we're discovering where and what we want to learn or come to understand. There's nothing quite as exciting as that moment when you're like, oh, I get it. You know,
that's the best feeling.
I get it. Thank you. After all of this time, I understand. Yeah. And you can almost revisit all of the previous experiences, if you choose, that brought you to that point. And now I'm there. I'm done with that. What's next? What's more? Yeah. What's my next thing? Where am I going from here?
And I want to know how you get your insight like that. I know for me, you know, those aha moments.
Mm-hmm.
I can get it. I can journal and say what's best for me to know today.
Yes.
What's best for the world to know today. Or I can get it riding my bike or taking a walk. Or normally when I'm in the shower is always a good place. But walking for me sometimes is when I know when I'm going through an expansion. You can also ask for it overnight.
Yes, you can.
Before you go to bed, you can say, to your guidance team or your higher self, whatever I need to understand more of, please bring it to me. And I'm asking that my vibration frequency expands to my next best self. But how do you incorporate an expansion into your awareness?
It's interesting that you ask that, in that quite often for me, when I'm in that expansive mode, I almost feel disembodied.
Mm-hmm.
I almost feel like I'm checking it out from all angles. I'm looking at it, and then it's almost like in this physical being, this body, I get this just huge like shiver, shudder, and I just know that whatever I've been working on has expanded into the next level.
Landed.
It is. It's landed, and it is like disembodiment, or it's like I'm aside from myself. It's like I'm my higher self, if you want to use the higher self, or my soul self, looking at me, watching, observing.
Yes.
And maybe that's the key word. When I'm in observation mode, that's when I can really expand, and I can really recognize the expansion within myself.
And I love that you said there's no words, because I recognize that you and I and other people, when you get into a new space, a new place of expansion, there are no words.
Yeah.
There really are no words, because you're at a different vibration frequency. You haven't found the match yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then you kind of lean into it and you get comfortable with it, and it becomes your new space, your new broadband. And then again, it might be next week or next month, there's a place of no words again. And exactly as you said, you're just observing, allowing, being. And I agree with you. It does feel like you're just kind of floating.
And
floating. Not scattered. It's not scattered at all. It's very, very different.
But the piece that's just interestingly coming in now for me, in that it's recognizing that I'm not fighting it any longer.
Yeah.
I'm not fighting the expansion. I'm allowing the expansion.
You're in the flow.
And that's being in the flow, in your own flow, as well as the flow of the universe.
Yeah.
And allowing things to come for you, allowing yourself to create the opportunity for those things to come for you. It's dropping that fighting mode of having to always, fight my way to get
and
something.
to adjust to something.
And to, be what somebody else thinks I need to do to get there. I appreciate wisdom, trust me, from other people.
Myself included.
Mm-hmm.
I do too. And as we're talking, I'm getting a very physical reaction.
Yes.
My body's vibrating a little bit. It's changing temperature in a couple different places. My feet get cold. I might get shivers in my arms. And then I get kind of a warmth through my body. And that's just my way of knowing that, I perhaps could be in agreement to what you're saying, but it's also an understanding that. And what I'm hearing right now is, and you'll know when I pause, it's because I'm allowing something to come in, but there's more coming. So just like we expanded last week, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, I don't remember when last week.
Oh, wow.
And we had to actually stop our podcast recording and let this expansion come into our physical body. We had to go outside and sit on the grass for a while and just experience it. Similar. There's more of us coming in. So you can call it a light body. I call it illumination of the spirit. I call it many different things. But there's just more. And what I do see when I look at people sometimes, it looks like and it actually feels this way. It feels like your rib cage is expanded. Nothing physically has changed in you.
No.
But it actually feels like there's more of you. Because there's more of your essence contained within the physical energetic field. Not so much the form, but in the energetic field.
And that's kind of cool when you
Yeah.
when you want to look at that. There's always more. So we can pull our energetic field in. We can confine it. We can make it as small as we would like to, but we can also go the other way. We can extend our energetic field to make more of it, so that the love I feel for my family can be expanded to the love that I feel for my neighborhood, to the love that I feel for my community, to the love that I feel for my state, country, world. That's expanding that.
Yeah.
So there's more of it rather than pulling it all in and hiding it. It's an opportunity to share it. And that doesn't mean you have to run outside and say to your neighbor, hey, I'm expanding my...
No.
It's a quiet thing. It's something you can do in your bedroom or on your stoop or wherever you are.
And what I love about that is, one, there's no fear.
No fear.
There's no fear. There's also no judgment. It's not like I'm only going to expand it to the person in my family that I like the best, or doesn't annoy me, or is, blah, blah, blah. And the neighbor you don't see, and it just really, Renee, I love it when we have these conversations, because it fills me up. Not with hope, because that's misplaced guidance, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It fills me up with the knowledge and the knowingness that we all desire this.
Yes.
Every single being on this planet desires this expansion of love.
Mm-hmm.
And however it comes to be, in whatever timeline or space, or I just again, it's that knowingness. I just know, I have no reservations or doubt that whatever I see playing out, or what I hear, or when people come to me in struggles, I know this is the makeup we come from, and there's always more of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a limited supply.
And you really pointed out for me too, as I was talking about, expanding it to your neighborhood, expanding it to as you expand it out, there's no judgment in it. If you do it with your whole being, there's no judgment in it. Like you said, it's like, well, I don't like that sister, so everybody in my family but her. There's none of that. So you're not cutting out, I only like dogs, I don't like cats. I mean,
right. Or political system, or country,
I can love everyone. They don't have to agree with my politics. They don't have to agree with my religion thoughts.
Love is not restricted at all.
So when you expand that way, when you offer more to the world, to your neighborhood, to the universe, when you offer more love, it just makes it bigger. When you offer more joy, it just makes it bigger. And now this is coming. So can we do understanding? Can we offer? We can send that vibration of understanding. We can give that vibration of compassion. Whatever it is, we can.
Yeah. So why don't we just do that right now?
Yeah.
And for the listeners too, it's just allowing yourself, just getting a nice
comfy spot.
Whatever you feel, sense, see, you're receiving it. Not even receiving it, you're a part of it. You're agreeing that, yes, this is something I want to participate in. And again, love has no restriction. Absolutely no restriction. So we'll just take a deep breath now. And as we're joining together in this, there's words coming. We're
going to expand our awareness.
Oh, thank you. It is the words Renee used earlier about the understanding. Because understanding is different than knowing, even though I used the word knowing before, and the terminology gets interchanged sometimes, but the frequency doesn't. So the mind many times will say, I know. I know I should do this. I know if I complain about, my stupid brother, that I'm just expanding that vibration. It's inviting others to feel separate from others, and that, a separation, blah, blah, blah. But when I understand what I'm doing, you really don't do it anymore.
You stop it.
You stop it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I understand that, just as we're doing now, and expand love through just a thought and a vibration frequency, you're actually doing it. Like, you're actually, I can feel it again in my system. I can see it in the listeners that are listening to us. So thank you for bringing that into my verbal way I could explain it to somebody. Yeah. And what I also would like to encourage the listeners, and I'll do it for myself too, is to ask myself every day, what can I expand more? What can I expand more into? What can I become more? What vibration frequency do I want to? And it looks like, Renee, is if you took a ball of sparkles, right, and just threw it and let it go. Where can I let this, for me, it's joy, love, harmony, peace, whatever it may be, Once in a while, it may be something a little less than that, but then I want to grab my sparkles back.
And really, what was the word that was coming in earlier for me was it's sparkles. The expansion and the sparkles, it's that light. When you think of sparkles, for me anyway, I think of the light that is expanding when we look for the more.
Yeah.
And there's a difference. I talked a little bit earlier about being the observer.
Yes.
There is a point where you are the observer until you understand that you get to be a participant.
Isn't that the coolest?
Yes. And when you understand that you can participate in creating and expanding this vibration, it's the observation of like, wow, I see this happening. Once you allow yourself to understand that you are a participant or can be a participant, it moves it in a completely different way, and it's like, I am a part of the all because I'm participating in this expansion of love, be it.
And exactly as your voice is letting us, it is that awe-inspiring moment where you're not looking for perfection, not looking for a certain skill level, you're not looking for a certain place to be. You just all of a sudden become the more.
The more, yeah. Woo!
I know I got chills too. I love it. So how can I expand more? And what is it that I'm choosing to expand? Because it is a choice.
It is a choice.
Yeah.
The how can I expand, is basically that simple step we talked about earlier. It's like, I am expanding this, whatever the vibration it is, for myself, for my family. We can move it out however we choose to do. It's the understanding that you can, that makes it all possible.
And we've had a lot of knowledge coming towards us, and a lot of modalities and different speakers and different, fiction and nonfiction, to help us kind of invest ourselves in this concept of what expansion is. What I think is so fascinating to me, and really, I just want to say so cool, is, I look at the globe from like a higher perspective, like I'm looking at the earth from above, and probably about every month or so, I see more lights on. They're like little postage-sized stamps of illumination around the earth, and that is the expansion of love, the expansion of illumination, expansion of light. When you used to see, like, boy, I didn't really see a whole lot.
Barely pinpoints. Barely pinpoints.
Yeah, that's the exact pinpoints. Now they're the size of a postage stamp, and they're smaller than a postage stamp, actually.
But
you're seeing more and more of them, and so that just is. I'm not looking for proof, but it's acknowledgement in the way that I sense things.
Sure.
That we are aware of what we are participating, what we are creating, and more choosing. Maybe not in the language that you and I use, and maybe not in the the way we conduct our lives or, our unquote our business, but in their own way, they're expanding that love and joy.
Yeah.
I love it.
Perfect. Well, we're going to encourage you to all look at what the more is that you want to create in your life experience.
And please let us know.
Yeah.
Let
We're
us
open.
know. Please let us know. You can drop a line.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I can speak for both of us. I will speak for both of us for just a
She
moment.
can.
And then we are just so grateful and so appreciate this opportunity to expand ourselves.
Yes.
Through connecting with each of you. And then I can feel it reverberate back to me.
Mm-hmm, me too.
And
Oh, wow.
more of this. Thank you, more of this,
Thank
please.
you,
Right?
more, please. Yes. We are forever grateful to you, our listener. You inspire us to continue listening with our hearts.
To share what we know and to expand love, peace, and joy within ourselves and others. Until next time, this is Christine Keeland
and Renee Keene. Be love, give love, and receive love.